Elle Fanning was born Mary Elle Fanning on April 9, 1998 in Conyers, Georgia. From her earliest days, the elements of a unique and extraordinary journey were already beginning to take shape. Her family wasn't from Hollywood royalty, but they were certainly familiar with a world of ambition and performance. Her mother, Heather Joy Arrington, was a professional tennis player. Her father, Stephen Fanning, had played minor league baseball before settling into a career as an electronics salesman. But perhaps the greatest influence on young Elle was her older sister, Dakota Fanning, who by the early 2000s had already become a household name thanks to breakout roles in I Am Sam, Man on Fire, and War of the Worlds. Growing up in the shadow of a famous sibling could have been daunting, but for Elle it became a source of inspiration. Her very first acting experience was, in fact, playing the younger version of Dakota's character in I Am Sam at just 2.5 years old. For most toddlers, that would be a one-time curiosity. For Elle, it was the beginning of a lifelong journey. The camera loved her. Directors noticed something special, an ability to convey emotion without words, a natural understanding of timing, and a subtlety rarely seen in children. By the age of 4, she had secured her first role independent of her sister, appearing in the 2003 family comedy Daddy Day Care alongside Eddie Murphy. Her bubbly presence and expressive eyes made her a standout. The same year, she voiced a character in the English-dubbed version of the Japanese animated film My Neighbor Totoro, further expanding her range. Over the next few years, Elle's career gained quiet momentum. She earned praise for her emotionally rich performances in films like The Door and The Floor 2004, where she played the daughter of a couple dealing with tragedy, and because of Winn-Dixie 2005, a heartwarming tale that showcased her talent for earnest, heartfelt acting. She was cast in high-profile productions such as Deja Vu 2006, Reservation Road 2007, and Babel 2006, where she acted opposite some of the biggest names in the industry: Brad Pitt, Kate Blanchett, and Jennifer Connelly. Despite her young age, she never looked out of place. Elle's performance in Phoebe in Wonderland 2008 marked a turning point. She played a girl dealing with Tourette syndrome and obsessive-compulsive disorder, in a role that demanded sensitivity and depth. It was a challenging part that allowed Elle to dig deeper emotionally and connect with audiences on a more profound level. This was the beginning of her shift from child star to serious actress. In 2010, her breakout came with Sofia Coppola's Somewhere, a quiet, introspective film about a jaded Hollywood actor reconnecting with his daughter. As Cleo, Elle's performance was subtle and captivating. The movie wasn't heavy on dialogue, it relied on mood, atmosphere, and emotional cues, many of which Elle provided through body language and unspoken connection. Critics took notice. Coppola later referred to her as having an old soul, a sentiment echoed by many in the industry. A year later, she starred in Super 8 2011, a sci-fi adventure directed by J.J. Abrams and produced by Steven Spielberg. The film combined 1980s nostalgia with cutting-edge effects, but at the heart of the story was Elle's performance as Alice Daynard. Her audition scene, in which she pretended to act in a homemade zombie movie, became a viral moment for its emotional power. She was just 13, yet she held a kind of gravity usually reserved for far more experienced actors. Elle followed this success with We Bought a Zoo 2011, working opposite Matt Damon and Scarlett Johansson. While the film was a light-hearted family drama, Elle brought her trademark depth to the role of Lily, a grounded, compassionate teenager navigating love and loss. In the following years, she began taking on increasingly ambitious projects that allowed her to stretch her creative muscles. In 2014, Elle starred as Princess Aurora in Disney's Maleficent, a live-action reimagining of the classic Sleeping Beauty story told from the villain's perspective. Playing opposite Angelina Jolie, Elle's gentle grace and quiet strength provided a perfect contrast to Jolie's brooding Maleficent. The film was a box office hit, and Elle suddenly found herself known to a whole new generation of fans around the world. But where others might have stuck to formulaic roles and blockbuster sequels, Elle chose instead to dive deep into complex, sometimes controversial material. She worked on independent films like Low Down 2014, where she played the daughter of a jazz musician struggling with addiction, and Ginger and Rosa 2012, a coming-of-age drama set against the backdrop of the Cold War. These films didn't always dominate the box office, but they earned Elle immense respect as an actor's actor. In The Neon Demon 2016, directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, Elle took a bold leap. The film explored the dark, obsessive underbelly of the fashion industry. As Jessie, an innocent girl drawn into a dangerous world of beauty and envy. Elle pushed boundaries. The role was polarizing intentionally so, and it demanded a level of vulnerability and transformation that only a fearless performer could deliver. That same year, she appeared in 20th Century Women, a beautifully crafted ensemble piece directed by Mike Mills, playing Julie, a teenage girl trying to define herself in 1979 California. Elle's performance was once again marked by honesty and subtle defiance. She was now firmly established as one of the most compelling and versatile actresses of her generation. In 2018, she headlined Teen Spirit, a musical drama about a small-town girl chasing pop stardom. Elle trained vocally for months to perform the film's musical numbers herself, singing songs by Robin, Ellie Goulding, and Tegan and Sara. Though the film didn't make huge waves commercially, it was another example of her willingness to dive headfirst into challenging territory. Then came what many consider her crowning achievement, The Great 2020, a satirical historical series on Hulu, where she portrayed Catherine the Great. The show, created by Tony McNamara, took a playful and absurdist approach to history, but Elle's performance anchored it with both wit and emotional weight. As the cunning and ambitious Catherine, she portrayed a woman navigating the treacherous world of royal politics, revolution, and personal betrayal. Her performance earned her nominations for major awards, and she also took on an executive producer role, showing her growing power behind the scenes. Outside of acting, Elle became a fashion icon, known for her daring choices and elegance. She graced the red carpets of Cannes, the Met Gala, and countless premieres. In 2019, she made history by becoming the youngest juror ever at the Cannes Film Festival. That moment wasn't just symbolic, it was a sign that Elle Fanning was no longer just an actress. She was now an industry voice, a tastemaker, and a role model. Elle also expanded her creative reach behind the camera. Alongside her sister Dakota, she co-founded Llewellyn Pictures, a production company aimed at developing diverse, female-driven stories. The Fanning sisters, once linked only by childhood memories, had now become collaborators, creating content that reflected their values and vision. Through it all, Elle Fanning has maintained a sense of privacy and authenticity, rare in today's entertainment world. She speaks openly about the challenges of growing up in the industry, the importance of mental health, and her desire to keep evolving as both an artist and a human being. She's avoided scandal, focused on her craft, and remained deeply respectful of her fans and collaborators. Today, Elle Fanning stands as one of the most accomplished young actresses working in Hollywood. Her filmography is a blend of blockbusters, indie gems, experimental art, and thoughtful drama. She has worked with visionary directors, embraced creative risk, and defied every expectation placed on a child star. Whether she's portraying a Russian empress, a haunted fashion model, a wide-eyed princess, or a rebellious teen, she does it with empathy, depth, and fearless commitment. As she moves into her late 20s and beyond, one thing is certain: Elle Fanning is just getting started. With a voice, vision, and body of work that continues to grow in power and resonance, she is shaping not only her own future, but the future of Hollywood itself.